Guys, before we get on with Uncle Sam, I wanted to let you know that from now through November 15th, we're going to be giving away 2 HP Tuners MPVI 2s randomly selected from Fasterproms merchandise. Also, though, we're going to be doing multiple random giveaways through Instagram. Got a lot of neat tools, a few little other odds and ends in there, some just miscellaneous, pretty darn neat stuff. We most certainly wouldn't be able to do what we do without the support from you guys. So thank you guys so much for what you do. Now, let's get on with the video. All right, so tell me some of the issues that we're running into here.
We had to extend a couple wires for our cam sensor, get it down there. We got everything kind of tucked in where it needs to be. We got to get a throttle body silicone down there.
Well, yeah, the only issue that presented itself is the heads being a thicker casting. These valve covers of the coil packs kicked at the angle like that. It kind of got into this a little bit.
Dang, lads, it's been a long time since we did a YouTube video on how to adjust your bypass valve. Way before I decided to ever do YouTube, we were just doing a couple instructional videos. This is the bypass valve here. Vacuum actuator. And once this guy sees 0 vacuum, it shuts, and then all the boost goes into the engine. Now, if this is adjusted improperly, because this is just like a little throttle plate, if that is anything other than absolute 0, then it's leaking. So basically, think of just like a throttle body on a throttle plate. It needs to be completely sealed to where it's sealed like watertight. There's been times I've adjusted this and been able to pick up over 2 pounds of boost. And that is going to be able to put all the airflow through the engine rather than leaking out any internally back in front of the rotors. We're going to make sure where my middle finger is right there, we're pulling that tight, and that is the seal there. And then we're going to make sure that we are very close to loaded, and my thumb is pushing towards the back of it. So if our set screw is actually touching this and pushing this valve open, that would be leaking. So we want this to be tight like that and shoved in tight there, and that's how you do it. So Laz, which throttle body are we going with?
LS3.
Ooh, that was a long time ago, huh?
You're all grown up, Laz, but you're still doing finger painting. It's kind of like that t-shirt that says, still plays with blocks.
Or cars.
All right, so this is our twin methanol nozzle from Alky Control. Do we have 2 15s in there, or do we have a 10 and a 15?
Good question.
Too much is just right. All right, so the setup what we had on here was a little bit different than your typical LSA. We have our fuel lines coming in and teeing off right there to the line. This guy right here is going to a return, and we have a vacuum / boost reference going to the fuel pressure regulator. Pretty much standard practice on a return style system with boost. So a rising rate fuel pressure regulator, if we make 10 pounds of boost, the fuel pressure goes up 10 pounds. Certainly something that we want to do. A lot of these late model systems, pretty much all GMLS stuff has a deadhead system. Now the later model ones have a fuel pressure control module, and that jacks up the pressure and the volume. However, once you start throwing boost at it, as your demand goes up, your supply goes down. Certainly an inverse relationship that you don't want. All right, so we had test fitted the trans with the engine, but now the trans with the clutch and the engine exactly where it needs to be doesn't seem to fit quite the same. Like you mean it, Josh.
Oh. Oh wait, time out.
Make sure you hit the clutch good, and we're gonna give it back to Cooper.
Clutch line's back there.
All right, so both the ears right here are coming in contact with, well, firewall and tunnel. More like tunnel. Josh, you had to make some pins. So, pins that
GM's on strike, and we didn't get these nice little locking clips that come with it factory. Josh made us something that we can run a bolt in there and make it work.
that is pretty cool.
It's genius.
Give her a whole bunch more just for good measure.
Might as well, right?
Small blocks, big block. Strangely, that hole's gotten a lot larger. Small difference here on this, and again, we haven't experienced this before. We haven't really had to pull the cradle down for any other reason before, have we?
No.
On anything. Pretty much standard work on a ZR1, like a C6 ZR1, and we wanted to pull the blower, do the thermal plates, we typically would drop the cradle. Even when we're doing headers, if I'm not mistaken, right? I believe it's 4 bolts on the Corvette cradle, is that right? Or is it 6?
Yeah, that's right. There's 4 and there's 6 on this.
Okay. The ZL1, part of the blower is underneath the cowl, so we drop it and it makes it a lot easier to pull it, but this is a little bit different here. So we're gonna drop the cradle and hopefully be able to get the clearance that we need to be able to put the trans on there. So guys, we got this whole system right here from Speed Engineering, and it is, I would say, pretty darn impossible to beat the deal that they got on this. This actually was a Camaro system, and all we really had to do was extend it about 8 inches, as you can see right there. And this will work on a Caprice. Obviously, the wheelbase is a bit different. Now, there is some reliefs of what we had to do in order to make that fit, but if you guys are familiar with some of Engine Masters, they had tested this with 0 power loss. And this is only one primary on this side and a very small little dent on that side there. Everything else pretty darn as it were.
I think we added this extension to now.
Was it? Okay, so actually might have been more than 8 inches. But 3-inch all the way out. Fantastic sound. Can't wait to listen to this thing fire up. It's gonna be pretty rowdy. Much bigger cam now on the 427. Gonna be sweet. Also, forgot to mention here, I bought another Trailblazer SS transfer case, and we got another drive shaft just in the event that there is a problem with our S10. Got some stuff we got to figure out. So the E85 that's in there, that's going to get turned into our 4-wheeler fuel. I think this had some of the purple in it, or I keep saying purple, the grape. Whew! Let me get a whiff of that. Why don't you get a taste too? It's 170 proof. Interestingly enough, actually, we have our 4-wheeler here that runs on E85. We were just talking about the difference in C. I think this has some C in it though. It's a little bit. Oh, yeah, that tiny little. It does have some grape in it. She done.
One side.
Okay, because this has the little saddlebag tank, we've only got one side on the low side right there, so we're gonna have to get the other side.
Gotta bleed the clutch.
That is gonna be so freaking cool, man. I can't. It's like it hasn't hit me that it's a freaking manual yet. Oh man, this is gonna be freaking awesome. So guys, we were getting extremely close to firing up Uncle Sam, and it would not be possible unless we would be able to do some sort of retuning with HP Tuners. Here's our file from HP Tuners. I need to be able to tell this thing that it is a manual. So I am getting rid of the clutch interlock right there and a starter diagnostic so that when we fire it up, it's not looking to see if it's in park neutral. There's a few other things that I have to do, but this is the meat of it. Went and told the trans it was already a manual. All right, I think I got everything close. And I'm sitting here watching FL2K live while I'm still tuning, and Laz is bleeding the clutch right now. I'm gonna go get the drive shaft. Let's go make it happen. Well, it's gonna be another hour for the drive shaft. Let's go have some fun with this. I think this had some C85, and we were just talking about how when we added a little bit of C in there, you could literally feel the seat of the pants difference in power. Just putting a little, here, no, put it in here, I'll show you in there. Oh yeah, I love this stuff, yeah, just tiny. I freaking love this stuff, man.
Groovy great.
Oh, it's my favorite, dude.
Oh, it's liquid power. So,
It says it.
It says it all.
This is gonna be great, man.
Now the can's gonna be coated next time.
Yeah. Candy coated.
Oh. No.
So Christian just got the Suzuki up and running, and I've really missed it. Like that was like the best. That's almost like a a birthday present, so thanks. Thank you, boy. That's really good, honestly. I love it. Can't wait for this. Let's see what this thing feels like. Dude, that is, I couldn't really be much more perfect. There's like a little
hole on this shifter is much lower, or the thing is longer.
Jeremy, you cut a few of those in your day, haven't you?
I have. I'm gonna clean this guy up. It's got a little hand funk.
How much different do you think this will be than a manual CTS V2?
Honestly, not that much different. It should be lighter than a CTS-V. Ripping an 800 wheel manual trans CTS-V is just like, oh, it's fun. All right, so I just removed the boot right there because I forgot to take a look at where they had to relieve another inch, but dude, it looks totally good. And that's why the plate is right there.
Your light is so bright on the tool.
Try right about there. Let's let her rip. There she is. Oh yeah, I like that.
You measured twice and cut once, right?
I just cut.
Oh, okay. I guess that works. So people probably don't know about the rubber bushing.
Yeah, I think it really kind of takes away from the sensation.
Kind of like the clutch return spring. It's not even a return, it's a clutch assist spring.
Dude, do we have one on this?
It does, but I remember there being an issue with removing them on Camaros, I thought.
Oh, this is going to be great.
So you essentially have a little short throw shifter now.
Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, this is going to be so
Same
good.
ratio.
It's seriously, like, I think it's going to be twice as much fun. I really do. Like, I mean, it was so much fun to drive before, but I think it's going to be twice as much fun. I love it.
Oh, pedal feels good.
What you think, old son?
Dude, pedal feels really nice. Feels like factory.
Agreed.
Wow. Who installed this?
I got the best guys on it.
Oh,
Okay.
you on, George?
I heard.
Yep. Yep.
Tighten that up. Pull the old Jeremy.
What are you talking about?
Did you money shift the Miata one time we were racing? Don't worry, dude. I've money shifted.
Probably.
I've actually money shifted one of his cars. Good thing I have high-speed money shift reflexes because I've done it enough times.
That's what I did on the Miata. I was like, oh!
Dude, it freaking will snap your neck in Leroy if you money shift. So.
Couple minutes away from startup here, buddy.
Nice.
I'm stoked. Guys, I was struggling with the PCM and having some software update problems for probably hour and a half. And the time that we thought we might have has evaporated.
Wait.
It is whittled away. It is, what did we just say? It was 11:18. And we've missed the first day of FL2K, unfortunately. This is our drive shaft. We have a small problem. Our tail shaft flange right here. This 3-bolt flange is different. So this is out of a Camaro SS, all right? Now this one right here is bigger and beefier, and this one is out of a ZL1. Now they have an outer and an inner right here. So as you can see, there is a bushing that fits right in there, and then the bolt goes through it. So, George?
The problem is the ZL1 has much bigger and stronger bolts, and we can't get our alignment dowels in there because those are also too big because we're using the ZL1 piece. This piece is ZL1, it's very
and
thick
this is
to,
SS. So difference in torque, it's a different diameter inside right there. So the problem is trying to get those two to sync up together. There isn't really something. So what we're gonna have to do, come Monday, we might need to overnight in this flange.
The ZL1 piece will...
So yeah, we definitely wanted to take this thing out for a rip really bad. I'm super excited to see what that feels like. Gosh, I'm gonna be ripping gears on this thing.
Yeah, so right now we're just, he's making little spacers for here. We're just gonna have bolts in here. We know not, it's a bad idea, but you know, just to get it on and off the trailer.
Yeah.
These are billet, right?
Sure.
Spacers. Look at that. Now we can put the old snug down on her.
Old snug down.
Oh man,
That's pretty good.
we can actually
Hey, good job, lads.
on that.
All right, so we'll keep it at maybe 2 passes, all right?
Obviously, we're not gonna do any. Remember, we talked about this. You got to take it easy. No burnouts, no rips. It's gonna be hard.
Oh snap! Y'all ready to make some power or what?
Oh, of course, man.
So am I supposed to insult Jeremy? Is that what the film guys do around here? Because I've seen Cooper on your guys' channel going off.
All right, so what we don't know though is if we'll be able to actually get it to turn over yet, because supposedly there's a big deal with going to the manual. We've done a bunch of stuff, so it should. So we're gonna find out right now.
Okay.
All right, hey, you ready?
Yeah, you can spin it over.
I'm ready.
Power, is it dead?
Got a hand on it.
Safety.
Aha.
Ah. It's always nice when you find an easy fix. Ready to do this?
Well,
Let's go.
a little nervous.
You got this, Jeremy. I believe in you. I know you're a amazing tuner. Well, moment of truth. 427, stick shift. Let's do it.
Want to hear this cam load, boy? Are you ready, lads?
Let's do this.
Are you ready, George?
I'm ready!
Yee!
Yee! Fire in the hole!
I got nothing.
Oh, crap. Okay.
What
I wasn't
happened?
ready.
We were cranking it earlier.
We were just cranking it.
You leave the key on that whole time?
The heck? You fix it, George?
Think so?
Oh, all right. Let's see.
All right. Oh. 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 Woo! Woo-hoo!
That sounds like so much more mild than I expected. Hold on.
Wow.
Hold on. We got to check oil pressure. Hold on.
Yeah, make sure you keep it up.
Bring it up to like 2,000 RPM and just hold it.
Woo! Sounds good, don't it? Oh, well,
Sounds great.
this little tease we had there.
Okay.
See, that's what I
We're gonna have oil pressure here. Hold on. Are you ready?
Yep. Is it showing oil pressure?
Look at the oil pressure. Huh?
Is it, you got any?
Yeah. Hold on. I
A
got.
little misfire?
I'm just like trying to be super careful because I wanted to get oil pressure.
Yeah, a little bit of a conundrum over here.
Find anything?
Yeah, we think so.
What'd you find?
We had a broken coil back there, back yonder in the corner.
Okay. I'll do it.
Got to swap it out.
All right. George, you ready?
I'm ready.
Lads, you ready?
Let's do it.
All right.
Wow. Fire dried up. You got oil pressure?
45, 50. This thing has got some fuel too. All right.
Wow, dude. Sounds great, dude.
Sounds good, man. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
It fooled me there for a minute. You know, it sounds like
Running
Like
that.
6 at least.
Well, dude,
Get up,
congratulations. You are officially a freaking Texas Speed 427 bogger.
You know, it feels good.
Welcome to the club. Nice job,
dude,
guys.
I
Nice job.
really want to hear a good cam, but we got to get it on all 8 cylinders. So, you know, we're not a
Probably gonna sound
427
a
yet.
little better.
We're on like 370 or something, you know? All right, guys, with HP tuners, I'm sitting here, I'm data logging it. I can start to see that bank 2 looked like it had better fueling than bank 1. Bank 1 is very low, indicating it's very lean. If it's not firing the cylinder, it's just pumping air, so it shows like it's lean. Yeah, we don't have any vacuum on that one. All right, so we've done some troubleshooting, and the wiring harness of what we had might have been wrong. We've had a couple of bad coils, so we're having multiple ignition problems. We just changed out the harness. Hopefully it's good. All right, here we go. It's still down as a couple cylinders. All right, we're gonna get this thing freaking figured out, and then we're gonna get this thing running right. Ooh, boy.
Ooh, doggy.
Yeah, 220. All right, let's make this happen. We found out we're lacking a ground on that harness there. Well, we got one now. I don't. Let's crank it up here. It's a tough day. All right, let's try this out. That sounds better. There we go. All right, so we're looking much better here. Bank 1 is showing rich now, whereas before we were lean. So we're gonna oscillate the throttle quite a bit here, just trying to get this thing to work. This O2 sensor is not yet heated up. It was before, and we're gonna get it come around in a minute. All right, O2 sensor starting to toggle. Pretty low idle, right about 700 RPM.
Timeout. So we had a pretty serious shaking around issue. I'm hoping that's a drive shaft issue, right?
It could be the shims, the little guibo that's missing.
Boys, we are lacking sleep, living on energy drinks. They're trying to make FL2K maybe a day and a half late. I think we're already at a day and a half.
Day and a half late now.
Yeah. So we have just found out. We talked to Ken Wilkins at Standalone Harness, who has developed the harness for our truck, and he's really a savior in times like this. So guys, we got so wrapped up in the swap that we kind of missed doing some sort of research. We've done this type of thing before, but not on this late model of a car.
It was more 427 excitement.
Yeah, between the engine and stuff, really we kind of got sidetracked on the trans. Thank you for you guys helping us out, send us in the right direction with a couple of different tips. The fact that we got a hold of Ken, and he was like, hey, okay, what you got to do is you got to loop these two CAN bus signals together and take the park neutral. I knew we had to do something with it, but I didn't know exactly what or how. I don't even think we have the park neutral safety switch on the pedal, do we?
We're going to put one on there if you
So
want.
basically we'll be able to start it in gear, but we've got to be careful with that. So this was our bulkhead going to the automatic trans, and we're just going to loop some of these guys. It was the two CAN bus signals together, and then the park neutral, which is actually should be in that, or that would be for the BCM then, right?
To satisfy it.
Old Josh had a freaking great guesstimate on that clearance right there. She looks right on. Good thing you cut those ears off, huh? Really, really nice, man. Looks really, really good. All right, so our guibo is the little rubber donut that's right in there, and when we tested it last night, kind of shook it around with the tires, everything was jumping around a little bit, so obviously that's not going to be good for any sort of balance. We just wanted to be able to drive it to the show, unload it on the trailer, and that was it. But George is working on that, and we'll get back with that in a second here. All right, well, let's see if this works.
And now we got us some custom to fit.
Whoa, hey, I do not have the key on. Okay then. That was our little hang up there, is that we had to have the TCM hooked into the trans. So obviously we can't drive it with another transmission hanging out underneath it. We were using that as a pass-through. So now we can be able to fire it up at will. Have to be careful about starting it up in gear. I like your enunciation for Weebo.
Weebo. I've been calling it a Weebo. Turns out there's a G in front of it.
Is that the Italian enunciation?
Yeah, Weebo.
Weebo, you will have your chance. All right, so our makeshift idea here was to just through bolt that with the spacers that we had there. Obviously they are not centered, and that is what we believe produced the wobble. So hopefully the Weebo shall fix the wobble. So upon further inspection right there, we have a bolt that is touching right about there. It does look like the modified Guibo. Well, it's now an Ebo.
Make sure you say it's not getting driven like this.
It
it's
is
getting loaded on the trailer.
Going on the trailer and getting moved because, yeah, I mean, the run out here, whatever we got going on with the carrier is super wonky. That is probably not going to last more than maybe 40 miles an hour before a problem.
Circle 19, this is Alabama, go to Wild Man, talking to you, come on. Let me get a radio check, Yeah, Wild Man, this is the Red Rooster talking to you. Loud and clear on the radio. You got a hose on northbound 49, keep your eyes open.
Oh, yeah.
Bottom, George, it's bottom.
Dude, well, Georgie, been able to move it on its own power for the first time. Hey, you're the lucky guy who gets to move it under its own power the first time. There it is. You know, I think we do have enough angle to be able to slide this thing around. We're gonna have to find out in the future though.
No, we got the power.
Man, we definitely need a much taller, fatter tire on the back now.
Oh, back in there?
Yeah, it's back in there. We'll go drive around the building real quick. Here, I'll hop in the other side.
Dude, does it sound amazing or what?
It sounds awesome.
You can hear the blower at like no RPM.
Oh, man. Actually, you can't feel the carrier bearing yet. I mean, we're only driving like 3 miles an hour.
Yeah, but you hear it, right?
Yeah. We might be hitting the, that bolt might still be hitting there.
Oh, man.
It's gonna be so
good.
freaking awesome, man. How's that feel?
Oh, it feels good.
Yeah?
It feels so good.
First drive is a success. Man, these guys absolutely killed it all in a week, and we still had so many other problems to solve, and still have a bunch of problems yet to do, but man, the amount that were solved was like a bunch. Guys, I can't believe this thing's up and running again. I can't believe it's got a manual transmission in it. We are on the way to FL2K. We got to get a little bit of sleep and definitely head out there, but boy,
A little bit.
Saturday morning, 3 a.m.
We gotta be there in about 4 hours.
George, we just got to get you set up a cot, and just go ahead, stay up in my office right there. You know, we'll be at the track very, very soon with this thing. Let's get all our issues solved, and we'll see you then. So guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless you. We'll see you next time.